In this episode, we go over analyzing our first multifamily property and why we almost backed out. Welcome everyone to Investing with the Baldovinos. My name is Josh, and on this channel, you're following along on our real estate journey. But eventually I'll also do some stocks and marketing talk. But for now, real estate has been really fun and it's been exciting. Let me tell you about our newest project, which is our duplex in Columbus. This listing here only had 2 pictures. It was curb offers only, but that was because there was already tenants currently living in there. Actually, we only had a day to put in the offer. And we couldn't even see the inside, so this is only the information we have with just these 2 pictures and what we thought rents could be in the area. So we put in the offer at $110 with an escalation clause all the way up to $135,000, which means that our offer comes in at $110, and if anyone beats us, we'll then increase our offer incrementally up all the way until $135,000. 2 days later, we found out that we won the bid. Woo! Awesome, right? So I'm happy that we locked it under contract, which is, a great start. The best thing is that locking it at $135 doesn't mean that we're stuck at $135. We can still negotiate down based on, if the roof needed repairs, if there's some major items or appliances, etc. All of that is still negotiable. This just means that, hey, we're the only ones that they can entertain now. And so that's the benefit of locking it under contract. Let's go through some of the pictures real quickly. I'll put them on the screen right here. And so this is the property, just mainly cosmetic from what our agents were saying and also what the contractors were saying. Just new kitchen, new floors, paint, etc. It doesn't need a new roof. This one does have a detached 4-car garage that is also separate in the middle, which is also super rare for a duplex. Let's go back to that. There are current tenants, which will be moving out at the end of March. We are closing this week, so we'll be having the property for 2 weeks with some tenants, and then they'll move out, and then we'll be able to refresh the unit. Definitely need some stair work there, obviously. Both our contractors and our agents are thinking around $20,000 each side to do the kitchens, floors, and it's 1 bath. And so I was excited. Although at $135, I was still like, that's a little much, especially thinking about, what my potential ARV could be. And really, if you're doing the BRRRR method, let me back up again. Let me explain what a perfect BRRRR is. First, you buy the house, preferably under market value. You then will rehab the house. So you're gonna add value to the house, you're gonna repair it, you're gonna force some appreciation to make it more valuable. You are then gonna rent the house out. You are then gonna refi the house based on the higher appraised value and get some cash out to either repay yourself and recoup that initial investment, or to refi out of a hard money loan or private money if you want to choose that route. And then you're gonna repeat the process over and over again. The perfect BRRRR, according to the book. Okay, so a lot of times, according to the book, this is the buy, rehab, rent. The perfect BRRRR means that once you refi it out, because you bought it at so low, and you're able to then add so much value, you'll be able to either, 1, get all of your initial money back. So if you put in, say, 10, 20% down, whatever it may be, you're able to get all of that money back out on the refi. At sometimes, even the best case scenario, you'll be even able to get more money than you even put in. So say you put in $20,000 to a house, when you refi it out and pay off that initial loan, you're able to get $25,000 back, which means that you gained $5,000. Technically it's debt, but you're not taxed on that debt, and then you can then move that money into another property. That's the perfect BRRRR. What is a perfect BRRRR for our market and our situation is the other question. Columbus has been a great market. A lot of these other, I would say finding the perfect BRRRR now is extremely hard. So, and this is where it kind of gets interesting. This is where we kind of flop to say, oh man, are we gonna move forward with this deal, or are we gonna back out of the deal? And the big part was because of ARV. The after repair value of a duplex was a little more complicated for us to figure out. Is how I calculate all the deals, right? Or how I calculate every deal for me. I've made a spreadsheet where I can now figure out, I like to figure out what the ARV is on my end, and then I confirm that with the agent. I use that by using comps. So I pulled up every duplex that was sold in the area for the last 6 months, and prices have been appreciating. Last year, Columbus saw a 10 to 13% increase in different neighborhoods. So things have been increasing. Our duplex is at 1,600 square feet, but it's also the smallest out of all the duplexes that you can see on this list here. Everything else is above 2,000 square feet. You know, I mean, it's 100, if you think about it, it's 400 off this one, which was the ARV at 250. So it was really hard to find comps. And some of these also didn't have 4-car garages. So like there's like a give and take there, you know, like straight off number value, like 195, you know, was roughly about kind of what I was thinking of ballpark just based on square footage alone. Now when you factor in the 4-car garage and you factor in what the rents could be in that specific area, it gets higher. But I have never done an ARV on a duplex yet, and so I wasn't really sure. Our agent was saying, oh no, like and they've done it a million times, and they're super confident that we could get the appraisal for above 220, you know, just based on the area and based on you know, all the different amenities that the property has. It also has we were nervous. We're like, okay, we're not gonna do it. Okay, no, we're gonna do it. Yes, we're gonna do it. No, we're not gonna do it. You know, just because, you know, at 130, looking at how much money we would have to leave in the deal. Say we got the appraisal back at $2,000 or at 200K. At 200, that means we're leaving $31,000 in the deal. That means let's just round that up, $32,000. That would be $16,000 for us, $16,000 for our partner, and that's how much would be stuck in that deal. Stuck is not necessarily like the bad thing. I mean, we would still have that equity and that value in the house. We just couldn't touch it for a couple years until we either did a HELOC or refi'd out or sold the property, right? So it's not like it's gone forever, but that is 16, potentially 32 lumped together that we can't then move on another deal. And so that was second to grasp, right? Like, oh man, I want that 16. It's a nice 16. I worked hard for that 16, right? And then, you know, at the 220 mark, you know, on the upside, if our agents are, you know, really confident we can get 220, then we would leave a total of 16,700 in the deal, which means that's approximately $8,000 each, right? $8,000 each. We can, like, for a duplex, right? We're like, man, that sounds nice, you know. Anyways, that was our debate. It was just, you know, thinking, you know, are we okay to leave that much money in the deal after the rehabs, the refis, getting the tenants in and all that? And the number to think about on this is, are we okay to leave in $32,000 for this duplex? Like, that's what we had to be okay with. Like, I didn't want to look at the higher numbers. I just wanted to make our decision on worst case scenario. And that's how you have to play the game. At the end of the day, it all comes down to the appraiser. Now, our agents have been wonderful. They're doing a great job, and they're gonna even go out and meet the appraiser once they're on that refi stage to make sure that they're looking at the similar comps and to make sure that they're pointing all the different amenities that differentiate our properties compared to the others. But just for the sake of being pleasantly surprised and expecting worst case scenario, it's if we leave $32,000 in this deal, like, is that going to be a win for us? And then it took a second, but we did accept it. So this is the worst case scenario. This is if we got that appraisal back. If we got the appraisal back at $200,000, this is what we would be expecting. So rents for the area, they said anywhere between $1,000 and $1,100 per side. So I went in the middle and put 1050. 1050 times 2 is 2,100. Our monthly cash flow, that's after saving, it's after property taxes, insurance, maintenance, etc. That's $600 in profit, $600 in cash flow every single month. So we leave $32,000 to get $600 in cash flow. You know, our total cash on cash return is going to be 52% just because we would refi it out. We would have, you know, $30,000, $32,000 left in the deal. But yeah, a cash on cash return, you know, looking at these numbers, $600 a month cash flow, and this is on the worst case scenario, right? A cash on cash return of 52%, and then a cap rate of 8.6. Like, those are great numbers. And it's not a perfect BRRRR, but it's a BRRRR that works. It's a BRRRR that builds us equity. It's a BRRRR that builds us wealth, and ultimately will be a great long-term hold. It's a game of patience. It's a game of long-term, and this is not the get rich fast. And depending on which market you pick, you may not be able to find the perfect BRRRR. And even if you do, those perfect BRRRRs, everyone's looking for them, so they're super competitive. You know, so if you're willing to leave a little bit of money in the deal and let that grow in that property for a while, you'll be able to close on a lot more deals. And in 5-7 years, that extra $10,000 that you were trying to fight over is not going to be a big deal. You know, I mean, like this still cash flows $600 a month, right? Which means that's what, $7,200 a year? So basically 1 year of rents gives me that extra swing. If I held this for 10 years, right, that'd be $70,000 in rents in profit that we collected. Not including the appreciation, the principal pay down, and all of that stuff. You know, $300 per door is an awesome return. So we're excited, you know? Closing on Thursday, tenants move out at the end of March, and then our team gets to work. And we get to have some fun. So if you found it helpful at all in your thinking about real estate, please give me a like button. Please subscribe down below. Please feel free to share it with anyone that you think could also find value out of this video. And if you're also investing, let me know. I'd love to connect. I'd love to learn about what projects you're working on. I'd love to eventually bring you on the show with me to just talk about what deals you're working on, what was your first deal, your best deal, etc. If you have any other questions or topics you want me to cover in the future, in this episode, also leave those down in the comments below. Hey, found this helpful? Make sure to give me a follow. Links. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on this helpful? Make sure to hit the follow button. I want to get to 2,000 TikTok followers. Can you help me? Can you help me do that? The link's down below. Can you help me do that? And then, of course, also, if you want free stocks, if you want to support the channel, and you open up a new brokerage account, I have my WeBull and Robinhood links. If you sign up and deposit with them, I also get some free stocks along with you, so that could be just a fun way to say thank you for these videos, you know, you never know. Anyways, good morning, you guys. I'll keep you guys posted on our projects, and I'll see you guys on the next one.